Guys, Nash with the Tampa Drain Dudes. Today it's cold and we're in Land O'Lakes. Our client has got water intrusion on their house, so we're here to fix that. You can see they've got, well, they had plants, got cut down. We're pulling them out from the roots now. And somewhere along the side of the house, underneath this window area, they got some water intrusion. Water came down, went under the foundation, and came up through the subfloors of the house. So we're going to take care of that with some dry lock sealant and a bit of a mixed yard drain. You can see that white pipe down there. That's an easy drain. It's a perforated pipe. It's just corrugated pipe with some slits in it and some engineered rock around it. We're going to be digging up all of the side of this house, sealing the whole thing with a rubberized coating, and then dropping in some of that pipe along it. That way any water that does come down gets into that pipe and carries out down this way. When we come around this back corner, we're going to be tying in this downspout here. Hopefully whatever lives in that hole doesn't come out to greet us. And that downspout back there, tying them in and taking them back here to this retention pond. Not a hard job, but pretty labor intensive. About 10 minutes into this install. 20? How long have we been here? 20-25 minutes into this install. And we're getting this side carved out pretty nicely. Those plants came out nice. They got real soft, sandy soil here, which is when you want to use a perforated drain line, just like we're about to do. If you have solid clay, like most of the neighborhoods here in the surrounding Tampa area, they bring in clay from Georgia, and it's completely solid. Water can't percolate into that soil and down into any kind of drainage system. It just sits on top. You want to use solid pipe and catch basins. But when we get lucky and we have soft soil like this, that water can actually percolate through. That's when you want something subsurface for a drainage system, which would be a perforated drain line. So water's going to come in through here, nice and easy, fill the void of that pipe. And as soon as we get this trenched out completely leveled, we'll have a nice slope going downhill and scratch all the excess loose stucco and dirt and roots off of the edge of this foundation here. Give it a good wash, let it dry, then we'll put on our dry lock. All right, we're about an hour in. Got this side completely dug out all the way down. The guys are trenching the end now, so we can go ahead and start washing off the side. Don't need a ton of water. You just want to knock all that dirt and debris off. It's also a good water test to see how your slope is. We don't have to be crazy steep on this because once it fills with water, it's going to start pushing, but you can see that water is already moving very well. It's really squishy all in this area. So there's a lot of moisture coming down here. They have their downspout right there. This downspout comes down right here. So I think this area is just catching a ton of water. So I'm gonna go ahead and rinse the sides off. Usually where we see water intrusion is right here in the joints where that stucco kind of meets that foundation. That's where roots kind of find their way up and in, and they kind of break down any of that mortar that's in there, and water can get up and in to all these cracks. So we like to make sure we really power wash inside these cracks and joints and let that dry before we put on that dry lock. So I'm gonna go ahead and rinse this whole wall. You can see that water's flowing down nice and good. All right, it's 10:30. We've been here for 2 hours. We've got this completely trenched out. The guys are already actually backfilling on the solid portion. Joe's applying that dry lock sealant. Put it on just like paint. Just make sure that foundation's dried. Luckily, we've got a nice breeze. We've got some sunshine finally coming in. So it dried out nice for us to start applying. Once we get that painted on the rest of the way, we'll be taking our lunch to let it dry. But you can see right here, Tristan's got this downspout coming in, teeing in to a solid pipe. Runs here where it tees off and goes into another downspout. And Brandon's backfilling this last little bit where it comes up here to our pop-up emitter. The center of this just lifts up whenever water comes out, and it will drain nicely into that retention pond. Pretty simple job. We're only 2 hours in, and the only things that really gonna prevent us from finishing this in 3 hours or so is the dry time. So not a crazy project, DIY friendly if you don't mind a little bit of hard work. Alrighty, pipe is buried. We're backfilling and just leveling out the yard, cleaning it up, making it look nice. Owner is going to come in and put landscape rock across this whole area. So we just want to make sure our basins are visible for him. And once we get all cleaned up, we'll water test the system and see how we did.